Obama Bush joined Biden war on disinformation after pushing debunked collusion, Iraq WMD narratives. Why would anyone in their right mind listen to known liars, two known, well documented liars? Why would you listen to them about disinformation when they are some of the main purveyors of disinformation? But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Now, when you hit that alarm bell, you can change it from personal to all. That way, you get all notifications from when I'm putting out stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram where I put out even more news. So check that out as well. All right, let's talk about this news. George W. Bush's presidency was derailed by revelations his administration used bad intelligence on weapons of mass destruction to justify the Iraq War. Well, so-called bad intelligence. I believe they knew from the beginning that Iraq didn't have any type of weapons. There it was no intelligence there. They just made that up, I believe. And most Americans believe that the whole thing was made up just to go into Iraq anyway. It was to prop up these corporations to go in to tear Iraq down and then bring in these corporations to build it back up to support the military-industrial complex. Barack Obama allowed the false narrative of Russia collusion to persist even after being warned by his CIA director that it was a dirty trick by Hillary Clinton's campaign. Obama knew this whole thing was fake, but again, this is something that they that they pushed to try to put out Trump. But now they're reportedly aligning with President Joe Biden in a new war to fight what they consider to be disinformation. It's all about censorship. They want to stop. They want to stop people from speaking the truth. So they figure if they could control the narrative by calling everything that goes against what they believe disinformation, then that's okay. That's what their main goal is. But Bush, America's 43rd president, will hold a quote struggle for freedom conference Wednesday in Dallas, while Obama, his successor, will host a similar conference on Thursday in New York City. The conference comes just hours after Donald Trump announced his plan to run for the White House again on Tuesday night. So this is a concerted effort. They actually waited. They said they were supposed to do this a while ago, but they were like they'd rather wait. They want to wait until Trump announced before they come out with this. They think they slick. See, this is what people mean by two heads of the same coin. It's the uniparty. They all control the one party. That's why they seem like they pretend like they bicker on ideals, but when it comes to really taking away your freedoms, they all can agree to take away your freedoms. And that's what this is about. It's about taking away your First Amendment. Obama's conference opens with the panel discussion entitled, quote, Tackling Disinformation, Protecting Democracy. Bush's event has a panel called, quote, Pushing Back Against the Authoritarian Threat. The media outlet Axios quoted officials for both former presidents saying the event will be, quote, highlighting rising threats from authoritarianism and disinformation and how to combat them globally and at home. But these are the main authoritarians talking about they're going to have a summit on disinformation and authoritarianism. These are the people that's doing the disinformation. These are the people that's authoritarian. I mean, that's like a arsonist working for the fire department. But quote, I actually think it's terrific that we will have these back-to-back conferences. David J. Kramer, executive director of the Bush Institute, told Axios. Ironically, Kramer was directly involved in spreading the infamous Steele dossier, which included now discredited allegations that Donald Trump colluded with Russia to hijack the 2016 election. The theory was similarly refuted by multiple investigations. See, they use the same people. The same people that spread these lies and disinformation are the exact same people that's coming out to say, hey, we need to stop this. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. Kramer, a longtime associate of late Arizona Senator John McCain, another purveyor of disinformation. I hate to speak ill of the dead, but I've always talked out against John McCain and his fake conservatism. And the McCain Institute for International Leadership testified in a deposition he helped distribute the dossier to multiple news organizations while McCain gave it to the FBI. He acknowledged he knew the dossier had not been verified when he sent it around to the reporters. Quote, I stressed to every person I met the sensitivity of the document, the need to verify or refute it, and not to publish it, he said, unless or until that would be done. And if it was refuted, it was obviously no reason to publish it. BuzzFeed, one of the news organizations Kramer sent the dossier to, did publish it in January 2017 without corroborating its allegations. Of course not, because anything against Trump, it doesn't need any corroborating because they don't care if it's fake, if it's false or not. They're trying to attack Trump and his character, so they published it anyway. Organizers of the Obama and Bush conferences said they were not playing together, but will focus on similar things. Sure they weren't. Sure they weren't. They just happen to have conferences talking about the same thing during the same time. I mean, come on. They think we're idiots. And former New York City Governor Mayor Rudy Giuliani, a former lawyer for Trump, slammed Obama and Bush. He told John Solomon Reports podcast on Tuesday that their conferences were, quote, a direct assault on one of our most precious freedoms that he has no right to assault because it comes from God. The freedom to speak, I agree with Giuliani, it comes from God. It doesn't come from government. Giuliani noted elitists in Washington and Democrats have repeatedly dismissed disinformation stories that later turned out to be true, like the Hunter Biden laptop story that he helped uncover. Quote, so far, every bit of disinformation these completely dishonest, unpatriotic crooks have located has turned out to be totally true, Giuliani said. The most famous of all that, the Hunter Biden hard drive, was Russian disinformation. There was nothing suggesting it was Russian disinformation. 51 former intelligence officers of their administration completely lied. And then you had them some try to backtrack and say, well, we never said that this was true. We said it has all the quote unquote hallmarks of a disinformation campaign. So why did you sign off on it then if you wasn't sure it was disinformation or not? Again, because it's again to attack Trump's character. But Giuliani once strongly supported Bush, but said he was disappointed with the 43rd president for holding the conference. Quote, it disgusts me and it frightens me, Giuliani said. I am so disappointed in President Bush. I really am. I worked very hard to get him elected. Well, I've been called out Bush and his rhinoism, and y'all know how I feel about Obama. I talked about him in plenty of my old videos, which you guys can check out on Odyssey. You still have some of my old videos from my old channel. But let me know what you think. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out democrepublics.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.